Program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Oh, Engelbert Humperdinck, would you give me an autograph?
Where, Ruth?
All over.
Excuse me, Henry. Do you have a quarter for a cup of coffee?
Oh, sure, Mr. Benny. Here.
Thanks. And here's your coffee.
Miss St. John, can you suggest anything to make me more attractive?
No.
What? No, she didn't say that.
Miss St. John, I'm going to give you one more chance. Now, can you suggest anything that will make me more attractive?
Well, gee, Gladys, maybe a different color hairnet?
Yeah, that's what she said. National Quickie Week has only 3 days in it. Monday, Tuesday, and April.
Speaking of quickies, let's look in and see what's happening in the office.
Typing, typing, bing, typing, typing, bing.
The office, the 9 to 5-ish office.
The plays we file and type a lot.
They wheel and deal and swipe a lot.
We work here.
We play here.
We print.
And we comb.
The office is our second home.
At the water cooler.
The office is our second home.
On your coffee break.
The office is our second home. Typing, typing, bing, typing, typing, bing.
Here come the boss. Here come the boss. Order in the office. Here come the boss.
Miss Hahn?
Yes?
What did you do with all those computer cards?
Oh, I threw them all out. They're all full of little holes.
Carolyn, do you think the boss likes a little nip on the side?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, George, but every once in a while he'll try a little pat on the cheek. Hey, Ruthie, honey, should I go out for a coffee break?
Okay, but if you just wait a minute till I finish my coffee.
I'm picking up a collection. Marge is having a baby.
Oh, good. What does she need?
Well, for one thing, she needs a marriage license.
Boy, was the boss surprised when his wife showed up.
Well, so was I. She was looking for me.
Oh, boy. You know what? Our boss really keeps late hours. Last night he didn't get me home till 3 in the morning.
I don't know why they call this take-home fee. It hardly pays to take it home.
Oh, no, you know, the boss has just provided the guys with 2 good reasons for coming to the office early. Topless receptionist.
Well, what's the other reason?
Once an accountant, always an accountant.
There's something wrong with my stapler. Every time I hit it, a little piece of wire comes out.
Miss Jones?
Oh, yes.
I notice you leaving a little early every evening.
Oh, yes. But don't forget I make up for it by coming in late every morning. Oh, how about going out for a coffee break?
That only keeps me awake.
Our new computer functions exactly like a human being. The day the World Series opened, it called in sick.
I just talked to an efficiency expert. Now, everybody in here whose job can be duplicated by a machine is dismissed.
Oh, well.
Not so fast, Miss Raskin.
We never will roam. The office is our second home.
Here's the welcome wagon.
The office is our second home.
What a lousy paycheck!
Is our second home. Bing, typing, typing, bing, typing, typing, bing, typing, typing, bing, typing, typing.
Want to get out of show business?
From the back room of Benny's Beanery and Firework Factory in beautiful downtown Burbank, in defiance of thousands of requests, NBC once again presents Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, starring the former Dan Rowan and the recently titled Dame Richard Martin. Tonight's surprise guest will not be announced until later, but he looks a lot like the singer, actor, dancer, and almost unpronounceable Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Was that a quickie?
Plus these delightful doo-doos. Artie Johnson with Ruth Buzzy, Judy Carn, Henry Gibson, Goldie Hawn, Alan Suze, and sure relief for blocked sinus cavities, Joanne Worley. And for the very first time anywhere, Teresa Graves, Pamela Rogers, Jeremy Lloyd, Myron Gilliam,
Engelbert Humperdinck.
That's not a quickie. But nevertheless, Gary Owens could not be here tonight due to the commitment on Letters to Laugh In. Morgul the Friendly Drell will be back from the Drell Convention in Philadelphia next week. Now, a word to the wise.
Should a gentleman offer a lady a gotcha?
Gotcha?
Gotcha!
If that warmed the cockles of your heart, this one will lift you right out of your seat.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
AM and FM.
That's the most beautiful thing I ever heard.
And now, folks, here's Sweethearts. Without further ado, here's two doo-doos, Dan Rowan and Dick Doo-Doo.
Kind of order here.
Yes, you're going to have to restrain yourself.
Boy.
But in the moon team.
Oh,
Good evening.
the mine tune.
Hey, you look a little tired tonight.
Well, I've been in training.
Been in training?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that. What are you in training for?
Well, didn't I tell you?
No.
I got a black belt in gotcha.
You got a black belt in gotcha?
Sure, look over there. Gotcha! See what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. It's a result of rigorous training, hours of clutching, grabbing, squeezing.
Sounds pretty tough.
Exhausting.
It is, huh?
I never knew how strong a girl could be.
There's a girl in the class?
No, there's 12.
Well, the rest of the students must like that.
I certainly do.
Take a long time to learn gotcha?
Oh, yeah. You know, there's a beginner's gotcha, intermediate gotcha, and then there's advanced gotcha.
Ah, I see.
I went right to
I
advanced.
can imagine. Head of the class.
Well, not really, but the instructor did say I was a natural.
I would say so. Hey, look over there.
No, you think I'm stupid? If I look over there, you give me a gotcha.
Yeah, look over where?
Over there.
Gotcha!
No fair. You've been taking lessons.
Well, Dick's running for his life. We'll have time for a few quickies.
Here come the quickie.
My, wasn't that a delicious meal, dear?
It's all right.
Oh, aren't you glad I
should have
forced
had the
you
bee
to...
dinner.
Now, let's see what our fortunes cookies say, okay, honey?
see what
I've
yours-
got mine. And it says, trouble and care won't bother you long. Your husband just poisoned your egg fooey.
See you around, fatso.
In my day, quickies were much quicker. You can say that again. In my day, quickies were much quicker.
Silver in my hair, teeth full of gold, taking iron shots. What can I do for my family?
Well, when you go, why don't you leave them the mineral rights?
President Q, I am happy to report we have canceled the elections, shut down another newspaper, and locked up the outspoken critics of our government.
Good. Now we can proceed with our fight for democracy.
I love those quickies. Your usual, sir.
What was that?
That was Flaherty.
The bar just opened. How did he get loaded already?
Well, you know what they say. Flaherty begins at home.
Beautiful statement. To you.
Oh, you poor man. It's a good thing you still can communicate by blinking your eyelid in Morse code. Oh, wait, let me copy it. Well, Mr. DeAngelis, you are getting better. I'll have you up and around in no time, you rascal. Here we go. I got something in my eye.
Is a feathered quickie a quacky?
Call for Phyllis Norreyes. Call for Phyllis Norreyes.
Over here. Right here.
That wasn't quick. I guess it was just cheap.
Listen, you guys.
What is it?
That machine gun's really got us pinned down. Somebody's got to go get it. You cover me.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Well, so much for tonight's quickies.
Oh, darn. Maybe next week. Turn the gorilla loose!
That's the way the quickie crumbles.
Personally, I've always preferred slowies.
This is Uncle Al, the kitty's pal. Hello, little friends, hello. Uncle Al had a lot of medicine last night. You might have to have a little injection during the day. Well, kiddies, it's time to make pretty music. So let's open up the Uncle Al fun fair.
What do we have today, Uncle Al?
I'll tell you in a minute, Melissa.
I want to know now.
I bet you do.
Come on, Al, I got a cab waiting.
And then you're going to see how you make pretty Betty bottles into merry music by giving them a little tap. So let's sing. This is a... Get Miss Twinkle on the phone. Well, that's it for today, everybody. This was Uncle Al, the kitty's pal. My little friends, bye-bye. Go!
Up, 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 up. I've made you just like a human being. You're just like you're my son. Go ahead. What are your first words?
Hey, Dad, can I have the keys to the hearse?
Another slob.
Excuse me, ma'am. You have a cigarette?
Well, yes, I do.
I've got a special coming up this Wednesday called Jack Benny's New Look. You want to see it?
Chimp. Pansy.
Dad, can I have the car tonight?
Millhouse, you stupid. You don't know how to drive.
I don't want to drive. I want to eat it.
All right, Goldie. How would you pronounce Engelbert Humperdinck backwards?
It's already backwards.
On Plymouth Rock, the pilgrims made a vow. Inspiring words we like to sing right now.
What's the news across the nation? Bang! We have got the information. Bang! It away. Bang! Bang! We hope we'll amuse. 2, 3, 4, juice, milk, big, up. We just love bang! Bang! To give you our views. 2, 3, 4, bang! 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 Ooh! Ladies and gents, laugh and look at the news. Here's Dan! Bang!
And now, here's the man to whom the news wouldn't be the news without the news, the man who's had more turkeys than anybody we know. Here's Dickie.
Dateline. I don't know what that means. I just thought I'd throw it in. Dr. Elias Phipps of Durban, South Africa, today performed the first tongue transplant. Dr. Phipps refused to take personal credit for the surgical accomplishment, saying the operation would speak for itself. City taxpayers reacted unfavorably today when 300 militant welfare recipients demanded a marked increase in financial aid. Either we get what we want, spokesman for the group threatened, or we go out in a body and get jobs. 2, 3, 4. Conservationists already disturbed over the systematic elimination of public lands said Secretary of Interior Hickel went too far today when he announced plans to build a freeway through Burt Parks. Hold it, Jack! Hold it, Jack! Already? Okay, take it away, Goldie.
Now with the news of the future, here's...
Go on, Goldie, you know my name.
Give me a hint.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Give another hint.
From Glen to Glen.
Glen! Here he is! Glen! Go get him, Danny boy.
New York, 1989, 20 years from now. This week, Pay Television completed its first full year of intellectual programming consisting entirely of concerts, lectures, and documentaries. Industry spokesman announced gross income for the year had easily exceeded $3.87. Sun City, Arizona, 1989, 20 years from now. The reunion of the original cast of Hair took place today with an anniversary performance of the show. Speaking for the cast, the 73-year-old lead, Charlie Kahn, said, "We may be old, but we can still show them a few new wrinkles." Washington, D.C., 1989, 20 years from now. The nation's controversial draft system was finally replaced today by the long-awaited lottery. When General Melvin Laird III drew several names at random from the fishbowl, the winners were sent to Fort Dix for basic training. General Laird III was sent to Leavenworth for gambling without a license.
I wonder if it's too late to use that on my show.
And now Laughing jumps back 200 years to spend a moment with our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson and George Washington.
Well, how are you coming with the Constitution, Tom?
Oh, good, General Washington, good. Now, say, how does this hit you? All citizens shall have the right to maintain and bear arms.
No, afraid that won't do. You see, then every nut in the country will be running around with a gun. I think it should read, the militia shall have the right to bear and maintain arms.
Very well. But 2 years from now, who's going to remember?
Hi there, government folk. Pam Rogers, your man in Washington. Just back from an afternoon with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Oh, I tell you what happened, but everyone knows. Those staff meetings are top secret. See you. Adjourn, sweeties.
All right, sports boosters, here comes the biggest booster of them all, Big Al. On your mark, get set, go, Big Al, and he certainly is.
Big Al here, swatting my bird around the old badminton ring. Featurette. Oh, that was a grade A tinkle. I know you're simply dying to know the results of the West Coast hopscotch meet. The hopping was nothing but the scotch. Delicious. Oh, my head. Well, next week, we're going gin rummy-ing, or whatever. Ta-ta.
Big Al, you want to try on my pilgrim shoes?
Oh,
Come
look
on.
at that little devil.
2, 3, 4, bang, 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 bang. Ooh, ladies and gents, laugh and look at the news. Bang, bang, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 6,
If the praying mantis prays and the click beetle clicks, oh, to be a ladybug.
Hey, son of a gun. That was a quickie.
So was that.
It's true I've had 5 different husbands. But wouldn't it be idiotic to have 5 husbands all the same?
Now that was a quickie.
And now, what was the most asked question of the week?
The most asked question this week was, what was the largest kidney stone ever removed?
And the answer is...
A 28-pound kidney stone removed from a Mr. Sam Weisbord. And now the second most asked question was...
What is the loudest sound ever heard on Earth? And the answer is, the loudest sound on Earth ever heard was made by Mr. Sam Weisbord when they removed that 28-pound kidney.
Well, gentlemen, if Goody cigarette sales are to survive, we're going to have to do something to sell them to the public, and we're going to have to do it fast.
Well, we've been experimenting with mice down at the laboratory.
Yeah?
Okay, bring him in.
Oh, well, I don't think people would have taken the word of a moldy mouse over these health nuts that are bad-mouthing cigarettes anyway. Now, do something.
How about the sophisticated approach?
All right.
All right, Lance.
Hello, hello, hello. I want to tell you that my social life really swings since I shifted to Goody cigarettes.
Anything to help fight the health scare. We're in big trouble.
Hold it, Chief. You know, the boys in advertising have one more card to play. This one will really boost sales. Okay, bring her in.
Remember, Goody cigarettes are good for you. At least smoking and coughing gives you something to do.
Good. Very good.
Ready. Hi there. I haven't seen you on the lily pads before.
Ready. I'm new in this pond. What do you say we get together? Ready.
Groovy. Your pad or mine?
Pardon me, ma'am.
Dear.
A cigarette?
Help yourself, young man.
Thank you.
Toy boat.
Ready.
Dear.
Ready.
I created you. I breathed life into you.
Do you have to put garlic on everything?
Hi.
Oh, dear.
Can I certainly would enjoy a cigarette after dinner.
Well, here.
Thank you.
But where's your dinner?
I was just coming to that. Can I borrow $5?
Dumb bum.
Mr. Humperdinck, would you sing a song for me?
I will, if you recite a poem.
Sure. Oh, Engelbert Humperdinck, when you drive, does your bumper clink?
Come on, it's time for the party.
Not yet. We're planning a surprise.
For whom?
For Dan, but don't tell him.
Well, you just did, you doo-doo.
All right, but don't let on you know when we get there.
Come on, let's go to the party. All right?
The surprise party.
That's it. What's this? There's nobody here.
Surprise!
went to the artist ball last week and danced with my favorite models. I was a sensation. No one has ever seen anyone tango with 2 apples, a bull, and a daffodil.
Jeremy.
Yes.
Over here in America, we call a man who is short-sighted myopic.
Yes.
What do you call such a man in England?
The Prime Minister.
Boris' wife called last night and demanded a divorce. He was so upset he could hardly get back to sleep. I mean, whoa. He told me about it this morning.
The Lord created heaven and earth in just 6 days. If he hadn't rested on the Sabbath, he might even have finished Burbank.
Last week I auditioned for the producer of a nude play. Now I know why I had to take my clothes off, but I still don't understand why he did. Not to mention the ushers, the parking lot attendants, and a cute little old cleaning man who was too much.
My daughter-in-law wrote her mother and told her that I was a meddling old busybody. Now, I never would have known if I hadn't steamed that letter open.
There's nothing like Thanksgiving with relations.
Oh, and to think I wasted the whole day with my family.
Rosmeko?
Yes, good seeing.
What's the national sport in your country?
Well, in old country, we no longer have it national sport.
Oh?
Yeah, the government sent her to Siberia.
Oh.
Hey, Goldie, you want a cookie?
Teresa!
Oh, you know what? You're much fatter this year than you were last year.
I got married.
I know, that's why I like you. Listen, Teresa, do you think they should continue the poverty program?
Don't ask me. I never watch ABC.
Miss Humperdinck, do you know the first 8 bars of San Francisco?
Let's see. It's Tiny's Tavern, Big Eddie's.
Oh, let's hear it, folks. He's one of us.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
If I become a cheerleader, I'll be Zsa Zsa Shish Boom Bar.
Correction, that's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Good voice tonight, Harvey. As Rona Martin used to say, it's time once again for our famous Flying Fickle Finger of Fate Award.
And who gets the Jolly Jabber tonight?
Well, it's going to Congressman B.F. Sisk and 6 of his colleagues, who, according to the United Press International, are being sent by the House Public Works Committee on an investigating trip. They're going to study, among other things, roads and highways.
Well, that's good.
In Africa.
That's bad.
Africa? That's right. Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Egypt, the Congo.
That's Africa, all right.
Nice of you to mention it.
Thank
the trip
you.
begins with 5 days at the African Highway Conference and will last 1 month.
Sure it will. Those African highways are murder.
No. They don't spend the whole month in Africa. They're also going to Greece and Italy, Spain, Israel, and London.
Well, if you want to study African highways, London's the place to do it.
Good thinking. Congressman Sisk says, quote, if we don't go and observe and find out what's going on, then certainly we could be missing a bet, unquote.
Well, here's a bet you won't be missing, Congressman.
That's right.
We'll just send this to you and your 6 colleagues in care of the House of Representatives marked Hold for Arrival.
That's right. I'm sure you'll find a way to use it somewhere along the road.
Tune in next week, folks, when the Flying Fickle Finger of Fate, or the Articulated Tickler, goes to the packaging industry for making those indestructible aluminum cans that are so much a part of the American scene.
Good evening. Do you have a cigarette?
Why, yes, I do. Gotcha!
Toy boat, toy boat. Big ship, big ship, big ship, big ship.
Doo-doo. Oh, what was it? Line to come.
You satisfied?
Oh, yes.
What am I?
Well, you started out as a caterpillar. I don't know what happened.
Well, you know, I don't want to be just another pretty face.
But you're not. Don't worry. Don't worry. Good evening. You got a cigarette?
Well, yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
You got a light? A light?
Oh, certainly. Here you go.
Engelbert Humperdinck will not appear tonight because he was caught in a windstorm and flogged to death by his sideburns.
Engelbert. May I call you Engelbert?
Sure, yeah.
How do you like it here in America?
About the same way as I like it at home.
Uh-huh.
One lump, no kidding.
Fool me.
On my show this Wednesday, even the commercials are funnier than that.
Wishing bird on my shoulder. I feel it wishing her. There's a wishing bird on my shoulder, pecking away at my hair. Miss Armstrong, you are a creature of sheer delight. Peace. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. If my deep infatuation of your maddening beauty has led me to misbehave, forgive me. If indeed I have been a nuisance, I am desolate. I go now, dear lady. Perhaps never to return. Perhaps never to feast my eyes on you again. Perhaps to give you one last gotcha!
Well, Dick, it's time for potpourri.
Potpourri?
No, you know, a lot of little scraps.
Hey, you know, that's why my uncle and aunt almost got divorced.
A lot of little scraps?
Yeah, you see, when they got married, they promised they'd share responsibilities.
Uh-huh.
And she had 15 children, you know.
So?
Well, she just feels that it's his turn now.
That's ridiculous. A man can't have babies.
Well, I kind of think my uncle already has. My aunt keeps saying 6 of them are his. See, he was married before.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, but I must admit, it must be a lot of work for a girl taking care of 15 kids.
You think how the dog felt.
The dog?
Oh, sure, with all those mouths to feed, all he got was little scraps.
Uh-huh. Well, that reminds me of something. I can't think what it was.
Oh, yeah, then let's go on with potpourri.
In criminal cases of late, judge and jury have often found it necessary to hold court at the scene of the alleged offense in order to render an objective verdict.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. First District Court of Elkins County is now in session. His Honor Alan Zelkin presiding. Everyone please rise.
This court is in special session, convened here on the premises of the Pink Pussy Willow Club for observe and evaluate the topless performance of the defendant, one Kamala Bubbles and Tush charged with indecent exposure. Let me apologize to the jurors for exposing them to the embarrassment of witnessing a shameless exhibition of dubious nature. Let the proceeding commence. One final caution, this court will tolerate no levity or unsavory display. Above all, I say, I love you, Esther!
Complete silence, and now, Mr. and Mrs. Bono. Mr. and Mrs. Bono, the final question for the grand prize on the honeymoon game. Ready? Here goes. What was the color of Napoleon's horse? You have exactly 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah, white!
White! You're absolutely correct! Congratulations, kids. You have won the honeymoon game, and here's a list of your prizes now. A $2,300 lawnmower. A honeymoon trip to Hawaii. A $38,000 houseboat. $500 200 pounds of Virginia ham, a silver service for 1,200 people, ski equipment for 3, a giant tropical fish tank for 6, and 6 giant tropical fish. Here we go again, I think, at a swell 5-gallon tank of water. Yes, and tune in tomorrow, folks, for another session of the honeymoon game.
Hey, Ed. Cosgrove. After 20 years.
Oh,
Mort Crocker.
Mort Crocker, my old buddy.
Yeah. Hey, listen. How about a drink? Great, Ed. Come on. Oh, no, wait. My wife's coming. Eleanor Cogan. You remember her.
Eleanor Cogan is your wife?
Right.
So it was you who took her away from me, huh? I loved that girl. She was all I ever wanted. Drink with you? Right.
No, wait. Come on. She comes now. Eleanor's coming. Come on.
Hi, honey.
How about that drink, Ed? I'm buying.
Mr. Beanie, would you appear nude in a movie?
I wouldn't even appear nude in a bathtub.
I'm all for nudity in the theater, but it sure makes it difficult to get to your seat.
Rover, this is food, and you must learn how to eat. Go ahead. Eat. Well, you've nearly got it.
Here I come.
Ready or not.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Mod World takes a look at...
What? Could I talk to you privately?
Privately?
I don't want anyone to hear us.
What's the matter with you, yin-yang? Why, if we're lucky, there's something like 50 million people tonight out there listening to everything we say.
There are?
Well, of course there are.
Busybodies. Body busies.
Hey, incidentally, that's what our Mod World's about, isn't it?
Busybodies?
Isn't it a coinky-dink you brought it up?
Coinky-dinky
No, the
busybodies.
whole Mod World is about privacy. Shh. In our highly populated society, it's almost impossible to find yourself alone.
My sister Bertha found herself alone. See, she went right down to the bank.
No, I mean alone. I mean by yourself.
Well, that's exactly what was the problem. You know, she couldn't buy herself anything, so she got alone. See, she needed $500,000 to plant a couple of acres of winter wheat.
500,000? You don't need that much money to plant a couple of acres of winter wheat.
You do if you want to plant them in Midtown Manhattan. Right near Danny's hideaway.
Okay. Got a little plug-in for Danny
You
there.
never know.
You never know. Give her a plate of pasta next time you're in town. Well, moving right along.
I see my sister Bertha's South 40.
I don't want to see her South 40. As I start...
Biggest silo in town.
Well, as long as I'm standing here alone, we might as well get on to Laugh-In's look at privacy.
There's just no privacy anywhere. I know the police are spying on me. How else would they know I'm a peeping Tom?
Listen, my friend's cousin was walking by George and Alice and happened to look through their big glass window and saw them arguing.
Well, that figures. My boss's secretary was in the apartment next to theirs and overheard George and Alice arguing through the walls.
I know. My mother's neighbor overheard Alice on the party line telling her mother all about the argument.
Well, then, that proves that the newspaper gossip column was correct.
Yes, but you have to give Alice and George a lot of credit. They are sure keeping the whole thing a secret.
My boyfriend and I keep looking for a place where we can be alone, but everywhere we go, we're always together.
The way buildings are constructed today, there's hardly any privacy at all.
You know, honey, I've been thinking, let's face it, our marriage is on the rocks.
Boy, am I glad you said it first. I've been thinking the same thing. In the last few years, I've come to hate you.
You've come to hate me? Ha! How do you think I feel every night looking at you in that
sloppy kimono.
Well, at least you can look at me. That's more than I can do with you, you moron.
Moron? You idiot.
Bonehead.
Halfwit.
Oh, creep. That does it.
I have privacy. I rented an apartment with a private sauna, and it was lovely until private sauna was sent overseas.
When two superstars get married, even they want some privacy on their honeymoon.
Oh, Elizabeth, my darling, at last we are wed and you are mine.
Yes, and we're finally alone.
Yes, alone in our secret love nest. Come, I'll show you the view.
Hold it! Listen, can I have one with you two together? That'd be just terrific.
Good heavens, Elizabeth, quick, let's leave.
Come on, just stand it. Snuggle up to him, sweetheart. Go put that on. True Secrets magazine. How long do you think it'll last this time?
Richard, let's leave.
I'll get the coats.
Hi, our choice neighbor, Photo Star Magazine. Get that shot, Charlie.
That's terrible.
You're right. How about something a little more intimate?
Hey.
Stay in bed.
For heaven's sake.
Is it true you two sleep in the nude?
How does Liz compare to your other wives? Darling, let's go.
That's
Quick, we'll lock ourselves in the bathroom.
Just together, one more shot. That's it. I don't know, those stars are so bad.
Hi there, Ron and Garrett come to you directly from the honeymoon suite. Now let's see what the stars really do when they're alone.
Gossip, rumor, libel, slander.
Laugh-ins looked at your privacy. Fading fast from society.
Some poor schnook's got a naughty grin.
Gets his kicks merely looking in your keyhole through your window up your chimney.
Gossip, rumor, libel, slander.
Someone's waiting to tap your phone. Bug your back when you're all alone. No one's safe from his scrutiny. On this occasion, we've shown the nation division of privacy. I want to be alone.
There is no truth to the rumor that Ed McMahon went on the wagon and broke it.
And there's no truth to the rumor that Steve McQueen's motorcycle has training wheels. It's an absolute lie.
Here's a late-breaking news item. Due to the continuing criticism of news coverage, television executives today threatened cancellation of all news broadcasts on the major networks and ABC. When asked to comment, an industry spokesman said, at least then the White House wouldn't have network news to kick around anymore.
In a few moments, Herman Melville will be here to tell us how to peel a whale.
Right, Terry, you're going out on the street. Now, here's your hat. Well, you've nearly got it.
Well, folks, you're only 683 commercials away from my special.
Well, as they used to say on the old Tex Ritter show, it's time to say goodnight.
Oh, Tex Ritter.
You remember him?
Yeah, before we do, I have a word of advice for the parents of America.
Well, we have a joke wall to do.
I'm sorry, this is important.
Well, hurry up. Go ahead.
All righty. Parents of America, the next time you sit down and have a long, hard talk to your children, try having a good listen while you're at it. And kids, the same for you.
Hey, that's very sound advice. I hadn't any idea that the parent-child relationship was of any interest to you.
Well, you see, that there's this lady parent who lives in Palm Springs.
I see. Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick. and Good night, parents.
Good night, everybody.
I always said that marriage should be 50-50 proposition. He should be at least 50 years old and have at least $50 million.
I'll tell you why I decided to call my special Jack Benny's New Look. After all, it doesn't cost anything to look.
It all depends on what you're looking for.
Well,
I know the birth control method for women that's so effective.
Does it have something to do with an aspirin?
Gotcha, Henry!
What do you get? Are you just going home?
No, I just put my hat on.
What do you get if you cross an aging sailor with a duck?
A salt cracker.
Hey, Artie. Yeah? Yeah? Do you like the new see-through dresses?
Nah, I never give him a 10th look.
With all this crime going on, what can a girl do to protect herself?
Well, Ruth, the only thing I can think is to get her arms fixed.
Never take an aspirin. Hey, boy, did I get polluted last night.
You drinking?
No, I went swimming in Lake Erie. Polluted joke.
Oh, my Uncle Rudy just had an awful... I can't remember.
Oh, read it, Ruth.
My Uncle Rudy just had an awful accident. He fell into the lake and was stuck up to his ankles.
Lake Erie?
No, he went in head first. Dad!
Yeah, hello, Goldie.
What do you get if you win? You cross. Thank you.
If you cross?
Lawrence Welk with Cape Kennedy.
Lawrence Welk with Cape Kennedy, I don't know. What do you get?
You get a countdown that goes to 3 and A, Z, and away. Excuse me, fellas.
Yes.
As Clement Ainsworth once said about the Supreme Court, I'll be the judge of that.
I came back.
Is that Peter Lawford? Alan!
Jungle back here.
Alan! Did you hear?
Stop it now, Peter. This is on camera.
Alan, did you hear about the happy Siamese twins?
You bet your booties. What about him?
She was just beside herself with joy.
Goldie! Say, Goldie! Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady.
Why, Goldie, I didn't know you could yodel.
I can't know Goldie, but I know little old lady.
I say, Goldie.
I say,
Knock, knock.
who's there?
You're hoodle-heidle.
You hoodle like who?
I didn't know you could yodel.
We just did that. Sissy.
Oh, don't I know you from that other thing?
You don't see that.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Here you are, sir.
Could I have the coupon?
What do you mean? You save the coupon?
Well, certainly. How do you think I got this swell bench?
The preceding show was pre-recorded so that I could tell you about Letters to Laugh In right now. Letters to Laugh In is pre-recorded to be seen every Monday through Friday on NBC at 4, 3 o'clock Central, 2:30 on the West Coast, and A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
Gottes Himmel noch einmal. It's not that interesting.
Very interesting. I didn't understand a word she said, but when she says it, who cares? Very interesting. Oh, I'm coming, you adorable little Hungarian jewel thief. Oh, I'm gonna touch your blonde hair.